Hey friend, welcome back to This Is How We Create. My name is Martine Severin, your host. We are back. We're back, and this is the 6th season of This Is How We Create. We are going to be entering a season in which we record over 52 episodes. And what's really lovely is I'm talking to you in January at this time of this recording. And we've recorded mostly about 80% of season 6, which for me is so nice. And why is this so nice? Well, mainly because it takes so much work to record a season. And what I've found in the last few years is that the best way for us to ensure consistency and to be able to show up in your ear from your favorite podcast listening platform is to batch record. And so last December, my team, the This Is How We Create team, met in Medellín in Colombia, where we recorded all of the solo episodes for season 6. Not only did we record all of the solo episodes, but we also were able to plan out all of the episodes where we have guests who've come on the podcast. So things are just a little bit different than how we did it last year, season 6. And how is this difference? You're going to see this difference first by our new look. I'm not talking about the hair, but I am talking about the graphic design and the show art, as well as a new image of yours truly that's going to accompany the graphics for the visual identity for the podcast. So first and foremost, we were able to collaborate with one of my favorite illustrators ever. And this illustrator is also a past guest on the podcast. I am talking about Violeta Encarnacion, who worked with me to create a new visual identity for the podcast. So you will see this beautiful work that she did that encompasses what it means to be a creative and how we tend to use our pencils, and we have all these marks that we write down, and the mighty eraser comes in to help us as our vision changes over time. So that's one. You'll see that new look. Secondly, I was fortunate enough to work with Nuru Kimondo, who is a photographer based here in Chicago as well as in Tanzania. And Nuru had done my headshots before. And so she created a new headshot, which you will see accompanying the website. Our color story has even changed. The visual colors, the brand colors for the website has changed as well. So we have a new logo for Creative Matters, which is our Substack newsletter. So all of these new things you'll see it around, and we're really proud. And we've been working on this for the last 9 months. So finally you get to be able to see it. We were fortunate enough to even change the music that accompanies the podcast. And you voted on the music that accompanied the podcast. We sent out messages through Substack as well as through Instagram and through our creative community called the Creative Nook. So there are so many new things. New thumbnail, new podcast thumbnail, new logo for Creative Matters, new visual colors, as well as new music and new photos of yours truly. So a lot of things have changed, and you'll see those changes over time. The other thing that you'll notice that has changed is the fact that we are no longer doing mini episodes. We decided to post 2 episodes a week for season 5, and that meant 1 episode from a guest, followed by an episode from me, followed by a brand new Substack newsletter on Sundays. That was just a lot. I think we took on a lot, but the goal this year is to grow our audience through the podcast. We were able to grow our audience over on Instagram from 367 listeners all the way to, I think, the point of this recording, we're at 11.7, and the goal for us is to reach 22,000 or at least 20,000 by the end of the year. We have these amazing artists who come on the podcast to talk about their work, about how they're finding their creative voice, what are the challenges they're facing, and how are they evolving as their art evolves. And I think that they deserve to have more eyes on their work. They deserve to have a larger set of collectors. They deserve to have more opportunities to present in galleries. And so if someone is listening and someone is a curator and they're looking for a photographer for their new show, or they're looking for a surface designer, I reckon that Creative Matters in some ways, as well as the podcast, is a bit of a salon. So I'm really excited. I'm just really excited for this season. So in talking about some of the people who will be on the podcast, I'm just going to say a few names. I wrote them down before the beginning of this recording. These are people that I have, oh my God, like I have creative crushes on these people. We have Shayna McCoy, who is a painter. We have Lex Marie, who's also a multidisciplinary artist. Mei Tao, my photography crush. Mei Tao is amazing, and she's been on the podcast. We have writer Nicole A. Taylor, and so many more. Justin Q. Williams, who is an interior designer, was on the show, and my episode with him, our interview is so phenomenal. And what's really wonderful about hosting this podcast is we reach out to these people and we cross our fingers that they're going to be able to say yes and come on the podcast. And then they come on, and then they are so much cooler than I could ever have imagined. I am so excited, y'all. I'm so excited for this year because it's a good season. And I mean, I say this every season, but this is a really great season. And already we're thinking about season 7. And we are doing some big things this year because we have we have social proof, the social proof through the consistency of posting on Creative Matters, the consistency of posting on social media and having, 11,000 followers. That's all social proof. And we needed the social proof to go to the next round, which is to get sponsorships for the show, have gallery openings, maybe, who knows, do a show at one of Art Basel. I don't know. But whatever it is, it would be really wonderful for us to be able to see how else can we support our artists other than them showing up on our podcast. Fingers crossed. I don't have it all figured out yet, but as I figure it out, I'll definitely let you know. The year will look like this for us. 1 week will be an episode from a guest. Another week will be with the solo episodes, and then an episode from a guest, and then a solo episode where you get me who shows up. The most surprising thing about this podcast is the fact that you all like the solo episodes, which I didn't see that coming, which also means that it's interesting to have to listen to your own voice as you review a podcast episode. But there you are. One of them is on finding your original voice and moving beyond imitation to actually have your own voice. The other thing that we're going to be talking about is how do you articulate your value and your vision as an artist? How do you do that? So we'll be chatting about that. We are talking a lot about paralysis. We enter the new year with all this vigor. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. But then what happens? There's often a fizzle. And that fizzle has a lot to do with the fact that life happens and fear sets in, right? And so we'll talk about how do you move beyond that? We'll talk a lot about books. I'm going to tell you the books that I'm reading. I'm always reading. Then towards the end of the year, we're going to have you sit in to a conversation on how we manage to batch record episodes on the podcast. So we are You're going to be hearing from Danielle Espinoza, who is my right-hand person, if you will, because Danielle just helps the podcast run smoothly. We have a social media marketing coordinator named Lena. Lena will be coming on the show as well to talk about how did we manage to grow our audience and how we're going to continue to do that moving forward. That's all I have for you for now. I am so excited to share these episodes with you. We did a lot of stuff last year, but here's to a new year and cheers to you. I have my hot water with lemon that I'm drinking here. So cheers to you, my friend. Happy New Year and welcome back to This Is How We Create. My name is Martine Severin, your host. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you check out our work on Creative Matters. I'll see you later, my friend. And as always, stay creative. Bye. Hi there. If you're loving this show, would you mind taking a quick second to leave us a 5-star review on your favorite go-to podcast app? While you're at it, subscribe to our Substack newsletter, Creative Matters. You can find the link to subscribe in the show notes. All right, that's all that I have for you today. Bye.